or I'm losing my mind. I can't help it if I have broad shoulders. Okay. Journal, job, Julie. Hey, my name is Not Like the Lion King, and this is my channel, DBNaila, done by Nala. Hello everyone. How are we this month? You know, I know there's a lot of chaos going on, like always, to be honest. So I'm gonna try to keep my spirits up. This month will be Journaling July. So basically just like journaling January journal. Well, this is gonna be Journaling July, and I'm gonna get back to my roots, and I'm going to be making work from how I'm feeling, and I'm just gonna talk about it. We're gonna vent together and things like that. This month I'm gonna have a few guests. I'm gonna try to stick to the whole guest thing. I think it's pretty cool to have other artists to come on and talk with me and create with me. But yeah, this is what we did last time. This is what we did. The lovely Tori, she came on and gave me a bunch of pointers, and you guys should check her out like I said before. She's an amazing artist. While I got you on the topic of Tori, she critiqued my piece, and here is her response.
Hi there, and thank you yet again for allowing me to be a part of your series. Your work is amazing, as well as this piece here. I think you did great with using oil paints and utilizing the linseed oil, which is what I tend to do a lot in my work. It makes a huge difference on how you apply the paint when you use linseed oil, and with your piece, your blending is amazing. The colors just pop. I love the vibrancy. I love the color scheme. I really like the concept of this piece as well. It evokes some sort of emotion, and it uses a human figure, which is something that I tend to do in my work as well. So overall, you did an amazing job, like I knew you would. Thumbs up.
Thanks again, Tori. I want to have you on the channel definitely again. Alright, so we're going to go into this. So I bet you're probably wondering, like, wait a minute, something in this scene looks familiar. Over here. Do you guys remember when I started working on this piece? Now, it's not great, and it's not bad. It's just not done. I originally created this piece when I first started making my studio, and I quickly ditched it. I can't help it if I have broad shoulders, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and explain while I work on this piece back here. So obviously this piece was done in acrylic. So what I'm going to be doing for this July journal, July, July journals, how do I feel today? As usual, if you guys don't know, by the way, check out my January journalings playlist up there. So I'm gonna start off with how I'm feeling today. I'm gonna turn this way like this. This time I'm gonna vent instead of writing it down, because I just don't feel like getting my iPad out and like writing on paper. But if you want to take this time and go ahead and do a little quick diary entry for today and how you're feeling, that's what I'm gonna do. And then afterwards I'm gonna find one overall subject, and we're gonna make some art from that. All right. Okay, I vented to myself. I've come to terms with what I'm thinking. Is basically the whole idea of I need confirmation that I'm on the right path, because honestly things seem really hopeless. I'm not gonna lie, like honestly truly hopeless. So just little confirmations along the way really help a lot, you know. It's hard. I guess I'm pretty good at like bullshitting, like as far as like I'm really good at like scrapping up what I can to make light of a subject. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling impatient, and I need confirmation right the now, or I'm losing my mind, if that makes sense. This is the only clean one I have besides the one I'm using as a palette. I need to buy more, but in case you want to just give to a good cause, see you in a second. Alright, so this is the next day, basically. So my idea, I really want to like focus on when I said I was like kind of like impatient. Like I'm really tense, and honestly I'm tired of waiting. I want to see results now. So I think I'm going to depict kind of like I'm very agitated and I don't want to wait anymore. Like I'm having a temper tantrum type feel. So the first step, like I told you guys before, is I want you to take your phone and I want you to record a video. Just kind of prop it up somewhere, and I want you to move around and think of like different ways to model for this piece. So I'm going for like an agitated kind of like I want to just like yell and scream. So I did something along the lines where I'm kind of like this screaming and like my hands are like this. So a lot of like action. And when that reverts to my video, I take screenshots from those little crazy bursts. So if you look at them here, I have a lot of these kind of hazy impressions, which is what I want to use. So I got my screenshots. I have an idea of what I'm doing. This is a very small canvas. So I'm gonna do a wash. I think a wash would be really good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think of a background. I think red works best for this. So I'm gonna go for a red color. So I'm gonna go for a brownish wash. So when I put those reds on top of it, it'll look really, you know what I'm saying? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get my wash ready. I'm gonna use this thick brush here because it's not really important. I'm gonna go ahead and get some red, not red, I mean skin tone color ready. Probably gonna use like a combination of like these two, probably, I don't know. Basically, the wash I'm gonna use is like the background. Let's go with, I gotta buy more paint. I know this, I know this. This is a burnt sienna, by the way. And like I'm actually using a canvas I haven't opened yet as my palette because I don't feel like doing the whole hurrah. So this is raw sienna. So let's go with maybe a little drizzle of black. So I got my black, I got those. I think that's the only colors I need, to be honest. I'll use some white just cause. Just cause. Alright, so I'm gonna take some of this white and I'm gonna plop it. Yeah, this is like marshmallow puff every time I see something like this. And then you're just gonna smear it on like that. I'm nervous, but I have faith. So after I blow dried it, I'm just gonna get like a nice kind of sketch of where my areas are supposed to be. I really am approaching this a little bit different than I have before in the past, but for the most part I'm still gonna start with my super dark colors just to kind of like figure out where the color groups are supposed to go. Now, I'm not technically going with the darkest color here. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I'm just going with the color that I think would be the darkest for this kind of like full coverage of the piece. I'm like really worried because I would go in with like a really dark color to help me like build if I knew confidently where the placements are, but I'm not doing this kind of confidently because I'm kind of like making this up as I go. So I'm kind of questioning things just a little bit, so I'm trying to get that kind of like I'm trying to get things formed and based correctly first before I worry about making everything perfect, if that made sense. I don't think that made sense, but wow. So I used oil paint lastly, and I'm realizing how dry, well, I'm not realizing, I just remember how dry acrylic is, and you really have to work with acrylic paint. And usually with oil paint you don't have to work that much, it just kind of lays how you want it to lay for the most part. But yeah, acrylic paint, boy, this thing was either extremely watery or extremely dry, and you can even see like areas in here are kind of left like streaks of paint that didn't quite fill up the piece. And then also I'm not really using longer paint brushes. I do use like my taller brushes that hold more of the paint, so that is one of the reasons why it's kind of streaky like that too, because those longer brushes can hold more of the paint so it doesn't dry out that quickly. But I mean, hey, you know, you gotta use what you got. I don't know. And then I'm kind of like in a different mindset as far as, do I want to make this painting look great or do I just want to enjoy painting, you know? So I'm not gonna lie, I'm just enjoying like filling up those colors and just honestly just painting, to be honest, which I haven't kind of like felt like that in a little while, you know. I'm not really thinking about how it's gonna look at the end. I'm just kind of just having fun filling up those weird challenging little areas. I'm just kind of like, I'm a little nervous about this kind of like left side of my face here. It's kind of like, because it is merged a little bit different than the right side of my face is really popping like it's supposed to. I feel like the faces are just a little bit more unified, but the ones on the left, it kind of gets a little bit just like morphed. Like for example, that eye, it should look like its own eye, not for like both of them. It looks like they're like for both of them eye, and I'm just like, nah, I don't know. I'm just not really liking how it's feeling, but I'm just gonna keep going and keep painting and correcting as I go. I also later decided to go for like a reddish tint, like a more saturated tint. At first I was gonna do a solid red background, but then I was just kind of like, no, I don't want to distract from the piece that much. So I was just like, meh, I'd rather just make this red tinted piece and, you know, instead. I feel like it would be more fun, to be honest. I really wasn't thinking about the ending. I was just thinking about in that moment, I think a redder skin tone would be cooler, I guess. And I mean, for the most part, this piece is just me kind of like lashing out, to be honest. And honestly, I just needed something to calm me down. So I'm kind of like taking my time, but not really taking my time. I'm just trying to really kind of soak up the whole painting like feel of this, because this piece is, like I said earlier, it's about me just like tired of waiting, like me kind of just lashing out. I'm just so annoyed, you know. So it's just me like exploding. So I'm trying to just explode and just keep going and just not stop. I don't want to think too hard on things. I just want to keep going and be confident with whatever I do, because like I always say, I can always go back and turn some things around or fix some things, and I gotta just be confident in the process, you know. I'm not making this piece to be judged or critiqued for like an art gallery or whatever, you know. I'm making this piece for me, you know, and I'm trying to start to make those pieces again, because before, you know, for the most part, I know I talk about it sometimes, but I do make a lot of pieces that I'm trying to think would sell. And I talked about that too on the artist statement thing. We talked about that as well with Tori on our last artist show. But sometimes I do feel like I'm making art for other people, and it's hard because I feel like it's just, you're basically doing a bunch of commissions, and I don't want to do that, you know. I want to make art for me that I just want to be proud of, and I feel like I am young. I have this time to just experiment and see what I like, you know. So honestly, I think I'm done for now. I don't like this, to be honest. I might, you know, take some more time and play with it. I think this is kind of fun. First, this is not my best, but it'll do. I had a good time making it. That's the biggest thing. But hope you guys enjoyed today. And as usual, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys very soon. And thanks for joining me. Don't forget, try to do something new. You only got one life, so try as many things as possible. Bye.
Finally! I've been trying to catch you boys all day! Now that I've got you right where I want you!
Like and subscribe.